Good morning, people of SeemsGoodMagic.com. This is Travis Sowers. I'm here with Dutch. He's not squeaking this morning, but trust me, he's here. And we're jumping into another cube draft. Again, for cube, I'm mostly looking for fun instead of for like super competitive play. So I'm more likely to go for combo shenanigans and that sort of thing. Heck, we could even make an aggro deck. Who knows what can happen in cube? It's all wide open and exciting. I have also recently made the jump into full-time content creation. So this is what I do now. I make these videos for Alex here at SeemsGood, and I do the stream over at twitch.tv/Simulan. And here we are into the cube. So come check out the stream too. What's in the pack? Wow, all these cards. Probably just mana drain. There's the most dumb stuff you can do with that. Like, I'm not a super counterspell guy. Mana drain lets you counter a spell that your opponent plays, and then you get to basically steal the mana for your next turn. Welder can certainly be busted too in some strategies if you can get a cool artifact in your graveyard and get this guy into play. I would probably consider the Tarn if the mana drain was not here. And I don't think it's unreasonable to say let's do Lotus Cobra or something if you really want to be in green ramp. But honestly, this is just as good a ramp card as anything else. And blue is already kind of what you want to be doing here. And I apologize for all the noise if you can hear that. They're actually murdering a forest outside. So yeah, we're taking mana drain and having a sip of coffee. And I need soda and coffee to function. It's morning here, so really getting that double injection of caffeine is how I think you need to start the day. All right, up next. Well. So, Dack Fayden is not only colorless and remarkably handsome, but really good in this cube. Better in this cube than he was in Eternal Masters. Because reasons. Everybody's playing Moxes and Signets and all the stuff they can get, and you're just like, yoinks, I'll take that. Channel is in the same pack with Emrakul. And if you take Channel and you have Emrakul, sometimes you can just play Channel and Emrakul. So we could take the Channel and see if Emmy comes back around. Emmy probably won't, but we could see Kozilek or something. There's also an Azorius Signet, which is a little bit more boring pick, but like getting these mana rocks and being able to do stuff fast enough is a big deal, and you don't get the option to take many of them. I have a penchant for wanting to be in red-blue anyway, so that I can do the Splinter Twin combo. I haven't done that in a long time. I'm actually going to pass Channel and Emrakul for Dack. I think Dack is absurd in this format because people are just jamming their stuff. Mana rocks, that's the word. Also fixing, if you don't take it early, you probably won't see it, and we will need to. I actually surprisingly like Torch Fiend too, for the same reason I like Dack. It's like all the artifact hate is just good. I can take Imperial Seal though. I think there's a strong possibility I try to go for some sort of combo finish here. Splinter Twin being the most likely if I can pull it off. And this just gives you another piece of any of the combos. It would be fun to play Nikki B, but this is the start of a deck I can get behind. Frost Giant's a nice backup plan. Thran Dynamo is just kind of nuts. Palinchron can be fun if you want to be a Storm Nut. I mean, the Frost Titan is kind of almost good enough to be like my backup plan. I also really like Arid Mesa if we're going to be playing these, because then it can basically potentially turn into a tri-land. Oh, but Frost Titan is a good way to kill people if you're going to ramp. I'm going to take the Arid Mesa. I like Frost Titan a lot, but this is too powerful a fetch if we're going to play blue, red, black. Because all I need is like a Blood Crypt, and all of a sudden this is turned on. Maybe I should just take the Frost Titan. Screw it. There's no reason to have bad mana in cube. Too many people have bad mana in cube, and there's just no excuse for that. You don't need to put yourself in that position. If we are going a whole hog on that, I don't mind the Chain Lightning. I don't mind Terminate, but I'd kind of rather be blue-red, like a counter burn strategy, if you will, that has some combos in it. And Chain Lightning is just handy to snipe elves and burn things. I also like Ancestral Vision, but it can take a while to get going. And I don't think we're going to have a way to bust it. Yeah, sure. Nobody ever drafts red in these cubes. Cube. All right, this is just weird because there's basically a lot of great cards here. If you get into creature combat, Olivia can basically beat anything. Solemn is just a strong value card, and Vendilion Clique is kind of exactly what we're looking for if this deck doesn't work out. I feel kind of silly seeing Signets this late, and I feel like they shouldn't be here this late because they're really good, but I want both of these cards. That said, the Boros Signet is probably exactly the droid we're looking for and should just take it and be happy about it. There's a Sulfuric Vortex, Ulamog, Sword of Feast and Famine. Lands that we're probably not using. And the reason this is of interest to me is that there's a possibility we try to get Restoration Angel going without seeing any of the combo in the first few turns. Little worried that that might not work out. There's basically no way Channel Wheels, right? Like, that's just not gonna happen. I can't imagine that it does. I also can't imagine that we want Sulfuric Vortex. Whereas Temple of Malice we would probably play. Like I said, no reason to have bad mana. Whew. These are all cards that I would pick early. Sheldock Isle being particularly one of the better ones, but Winter Orb can be busted easily. Balance can be busted easily. I'm tempted to take the Balance, but Sheldock Isle is just great. I think we would also like Spellskite, and we could build a Mentor deck. I mean, right now we don't have any creatures, and Mentor could run away with the game, but not quite there. This is the one where you either draw a card or blow everything up, and you get to choose. At the beginning of your upkeep, either destroy all non-land permanents or draw a card. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I mean, there's a possibility we go into a very aggressive deck. I'm going to take the Goblin Guide and kind of see if that continues to look like it's open. If it does, that may be something that we're doing. Isochron Scepter could be interesting to go with this. Duretti gives us another opportunity to do some artifact shenanigans. I guess he also lets us loot like hell. Just not doing anything with it currently. I'll still take Duretti. This, again, gives us a couple options to go in. There's Nikki B if we want a big thing to do. Repeal if we want some early interactivity. And Torchfiend if we really want to go on the Artifact Hate plan. I'm not really planning on ramping that high. I really wanted to do combo. I'm going to take the Torchfiend because I like it. And we'll see where we go from there. Again, Palinchron can do fun stuff. But it looks like some sort of aggressive red deck may actually be open. I'll go with the Incinerate here. Terminate's fine. There's like a little package here, and Olivia's fine. So maybe we're just going Grixis Control. Like, there's a little package here that kind of wants to just play a burn deck. And if it works out that that's where we are, that may just be what we're doing. Most busted card here is Fast Bond, easily. It's absurd. It's kind of bonkers. With what we've seen though, I'm kind of tempted to say screw it and move in on this red aggro deck. I don't like red aggro in cube nearly as much because people do things. The spells are more powerful, and that makes the decks that you're playing a little harder to beat. But like, this is our start to a burn deck, and this is our start to a combo deck. Like, if I take the Jet because it is too legit, and just prioritize low drop creatures, I think we're pretty happy. The Eidolon of Great Revels could also be really good for this deck in Might Wheel. Like, we've seen evidence that nobody wants these cheap burn cards. Alright, I guess we'll go in that direction. The other option is to take the Volcanic Island or try for a powerful deck and take Fast Bond and Silumgar, but hell, let's see if Mono Red can be a thing here. So we've got the Bushwhacker, we've got the Pestimite, and we've got the Koth. So again, we're stuck in a position here. If we're gonna go Mono Red, we take Koth. If we're still gonna have the combo potential, we take the Pestimite. Like, that basically blanks the Jit and the Vortex. You know, the fact that all of this is just fine in a deck without the combo makes me want to take the Pestimite. Like, if it comes together, that's great. If it doesn't, I can probably survive. There's an Upheaval, a Tolarian Academy. Yeah, I feel like I brought a pencil to a knife fight. Because, like, I've got Firebolt versus Izzet Signet. If we're going to play blue-red and have the combo in the deck, I have to take the Izzet Signet. Upheaval is one of my favorite Magic cards in Cube. That's usually what I want to be doing. If you come on stream and see me cubing, we're probably doing that. But I think I can happily move into something like this, and we'll figure out exactly what else we're doing with it. Because this is not bad per se. Fire and Ice goes right in. Breeding Pool isn't exactly the droid we're looking for. Mox Diamond isn't really what I want either, unless I have some shenanigans there. Again, Fire Blast could go for the mono red deck, but let's go with Fire and Ice. It's something cheap. S-Word of Body and Mind, Geest of St. Traft, Wasteland would be nice. Hate. Smash to Smithereens is certainly main deckable. Like, if we had more dudes, I would say we could go in on this equipment package, but we kind of don't have a lot of dudes. Could also take the figure and again have an aggressive slant to this deck. The Sword of Body and Mind kind of plays at odds with a traditional creature aggro deck, because it only needs to hit once or twice and you win. But I keep seeing more and more of these red burn cards. I guess the figures may just be the best card for us here. Like, I could see taking the Geist and trying to put a Jite on it or something, or take the Wasteland. But a Johnny Vengeant. I like a Johnny Vengeant. Also, Time Spiral. That's an amazing card and pretty far away from what we're doing. And Through the Breach for all those Emrakuls. This is the draw a card Chandra and the ping Chandra. Like, I could also take the Hallowed Fountain, which would make it possible for us to cast the Ajani. Probably playing this. We're probably not playing these at this time unless I start taking lands to support it. You know, maybe there's something to sticking to a two-color deck and just take the Chandra. Like, maybe we can ping something away, maybe we can draw some cards. I don't really have any card draw. I like a Johnny a lot, but I think I'm just going to be blue-red and see what we can do with this. And if that's what I'm doing, I should probably take the Steam Vents. I don't think there should be a Time Twister here. It's a powerful card, so nobody's playing Storm. But I'm not either. Alright, we've got a Deceiver Exarch and a Pestimite. So the plan is definitely here. We need Kiki Jiki or a Splinter Twin. The Eidolon Wield, the Lightning Strike Wield, and the Volcanic Island Wield. I kind of like all of these picks, but now that I've picked up Pestimite and Deceiver Exarch, I think I want the Volcanic Island. Derp. And then probably just don't play the Sulfuric Vortex and we're happy. All of the cards we were debating wield. Koth is just fine. I am somewhat interested in maybe trying to get some white mana, because like a Restoration Angel is something we might want. These are all very busted cards. I guess I should have gone for something broken instead of a combo. But Fire Blast is playable. Smash all main deck. Call me crazy. You can call me crazy. Main deck artifact hate is just fine. This is an interesting start. I don't really have a reason to be blue other than the combo bits. I'm just gonna hack a time spiral here because it makes me sad. I went for the Storm deck, last pick Lion's Eye Diamond, on stream, and almost got there. I understand why people play it. It's a hell of a lot of fun. Like, it's super fun. Mana Crypt is the most powerful card here. We've kind of built our deck around getting this, and I feel like we're kind of stupid if we don't take it. Since our deck's almost done, we can also prioritize black mana fixing and maybe run the Imperial Seal too, if we get some. But I've kind of backed myself into a corner where I have to take Kiki and pass a Mana Crypt and a Gush, which feels dumb. I mean, Mana Crypt still looks like a broken card. We could, you know, turn to Chandra or Koth, which I think would be pretty powerful, but this is how I plan to win the game, so I should probably take that. This is all I wanted to do, was make this happen. There's a Badlands. I've got an Arid Mesa. The Arid Mesa can fetch the Badlands. Now this is kind of like splashing for a tutor, which is just sort of stupid, when I could just take the Mole Drifter. Why would you want to take the Mole Drifter, Travis? Have you ever blinked the Mole Drifter with Kiki Jiki? Have you ever done that? Because if you haven't, you should really try it. It's awesome. So basically, if I don't take this Badlands, I'm saying, okay, screw it, we don't need the tutor. But this is kind of like a tutor. It tutors for 2 random cards, and you get a 2/2, and you get to draw them, and you don't have to take the life, and your mana's better. All right, I've talked myself into it. We're drifting some moles. Baby Jace, Yakulpup, Magus of the Wheel, S-Word of Body and Mind. I'm probably just going to take Electrolyze. There's also Cryptic, but like, I think we're mostly red with some blue. Like, this is powerful enough to splash for. I'm going to do that. But our mana's not anywhere near good enough. Like, I've got 2 blue fetches and 1 thing that can fetch them. So I'm basically playing 3 duels. I'm not Crypticing with that, but I'll Electrolyze all day. This deck would like a Snapcaster too, wouldn't it? Baby Jace is reasonable too. Grim Monolith is better than this. It should not be here, and yet it is. Basically, the strategy I always go for, usually go for, is open. This one time where I'm not going for it. Sour of Temptation is actually pretty dang good. Make a dude steal a dude, do things and stuff. Wall of Omens is a hell of a lot of fun with Kiki Jiki too, I mean, we could conceivably do that, but it's getting a little late in the game for that. I'm just going to take the Sour. I think Grim Monolith is a better card, but this is the world we live in. Oh, and these are the hands we counter. I don't mind another counter spell. I like Revoker a lot. I like Chrome Mox if you're playing Draw 7s, which we're not. Rift Bolt's okay. Like, I guess we're looking to make 1 threat. I don't like this Goblin Guide in this deck. I should just take that out. We're looking to present 1 threat and kill them with it, and then potentially combo off late game, I guess. Like, I don't mind running out of Torch Fiend. I'm happy enough with Counterspell. I'd like 1 more creature-based threat. I guess what I want is a Delver of Secrets? 1, 2, that's instant or sorcery, right? It's been a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's he's never flipping. Like, that's just not what's happening. And there's stupid powerful cards here for everybody that's not me. We could hack the Wheel of Fortune just so, well, maybe it'll be fun for you guys to see Storm do what it do. With library manipulation, you might start to consider something like this, but I think we're pretty far away from it. I guess I'll still take it, but I'm not particularly thrilled about it. Faithless Looting's good. Lightning Mauler's okay. I think I've got enough stuff in my sideboard. Like if I have to play Goblin Guide and Duretti, we can do it, even if he's just super looting us. That's a sad place for Duretti to be. But I'll take a Temple. Like, I'd rather just have good mana. Outpost Siege might be pretty good. Mana Leak would be fun too. Outpost Siege is just going to rip me into more and more cards. I like that. I've already got 2 hard counters. If this is my last card, I think I can be okay with it. Yeah. Yeah, see? Our mana may have gotten good enough that I could play... Yeah, these are all super powerful. I don't know what people are doing here. They must be forcing aggro strategies, which is fine by me. I think we can actually beat them. I mean, I might be able to play a Mutavault if we're just going 2 colors and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 duels. Stormbreath Dragon also kind of fits my one big threat plan. Rah! I had to pick quickly and did not approve. So we could run Burst Lightning over Fire Blast, potentially. I could run it over Smash to Smithereens. I could run it over the Boros Signet because we're not really super looking to ramp. I'll probably play the Burst Lightning. I'm not sure over what yet, though. Sure, we'll take the Jackal Pup in case we want to do something like that. Char is a fine card. We might could find room for that. Thundermaw Hellkite also could be our last big finisher. So we're wheeling some things, and we can kind of put this deck together in a bunch of different ways. This did not end up how I expected, but I'm alright with it. I kind of said I'd like to get into this deck, and we did. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune should not be here. So basically, Storm was open and Big Artifact was open, and I went for Kiki combo, and got there, to be fair. But the deck does sort of revolve around Kiki Jiki. Alright, so what do I want to do here? Gripping creatures separately doesn't super help for cube limited. So like, what I like here is I've got a couple creatures that can win the game on their own, or are just so good they're worth playing. I think Koth counts as that too. Like, Koth and Chandra are sort of like in our threat pile. She's not really going to win the game, but she's just kind of drawing me cards, which I like. The Outpost Siege does play pretty crappily with the mana drain and counterspell, but that's alright. I've got a lot of burn versus little things. I don't think it'll be hard to keep this guy going, at least to a 4/4. And like, that's probably worth having in here. I'm not cutting the combo. So I guess what I should do is look at cutting some of the inefficient removal spells. Like Smash to Smithereens, I'm already main decking a Dak and a Torch Fiend as artifact hate. So I'm fine with that. This is also a combo with Kiki if they've got artifacts. Like, that's one thing I like with this, is all of these creatures do something with Kiki, except for the Figure of Destiny. That might be a reason to cut the Figure of Destiny, but I kind of like the idea of having a 1-mana card that's relevant on turn 1 and can just do amazing things later. I may not need the Boros Signet. Like, that feels strange, but if I do this, because this is good in creature-based matchups. It's not every matchup is a creature-based matchup, and we're not exactly running a million creatures here. I feel like I'm a combo deck, and this maximizes my chances of hitting that combo. I could also just cut the Fire Blast. Like, that's kind of a last-minute burn-your-face plan. And this is pretty legit. Like, just putting that on a Figure of Destiny, Torch Fiend, or one of these guys does a thing. I'll try it out. I'll try it out. I can get behind this. Got here, 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 and here. Do I want the Mutavault is the real question of the day. And I think the answer is yes. Because these are basically all duals. This is a blue. Mutavault can carry the jet, and I've got the Is It Signet. So I think I'm going to do this. So give me 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blue, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red. That makes Kiki a little hard to cast. So I could see some not insane argument for cutting the Mutavault for a mountain. Again, sorry about the sound of them destroying the earth outside the window. Pay attention to how many times I want to cast Kiki and can't because there's a Mutavault in play, because I think there might actually be something to that. But I think this is what I'm happy main decking. It's got a neat mix of artifact hate, some burns, some counter spells, and a combo to finish things off, as well as creatures that can finish a game on their own, with the exception of these two. But like, they're so good with Kiki, and then everything else at least does something when you flicker it. Like you draw cards, you tap their stuff, you steal another guy for a turn, you make an artifact destroying machine. I think I like this deck. I think I like this deck. Oh, and I got room for another land. How long would it have taken me to know this? Notice this. That lets me put in another mountain, and we're just good to go. Cool. See you guys for round 1 in just a minute.